In the relentless torrent of contemporary life, endless notifications, mounting deadlines, fractured relationships, global uncertainty, financial strain, health worries, it's extraordinarily easy to feel like you're being pulled under, gasping for air in a storm you didn't choose. Yet across more than 23 centuries, a small but remarkably resilient group of thinkers has insisted that real freedom and unshakable peace are still possible, not by escaping the storm, but by learning how to stand calm and centered inside it. That philosophy is Stoicism. Today we're going deep into 10 core Stoic principles, not abstract theories, but battle-tested psychological tools designed to be used in traffic jams, heated arguments, performance reviews, breakups, health scares, layoffs, sleepless nights with crying children, and every other ordinary human difficulty. These are not feel-good platitudes. They are operating instructions for the human mind under pressure. By the time we finish, you will walk away with a complete mental framework. You can begin applying tomorrow morning, a framework that thousands of people, from Roman emperors to modern athletes, entrepreneurs, therapists, soldiers, and parents, have used to remain composed, effective, and even quietly joyful when life turns brutal. Let's begin. Principle 1. Forge an unbreakable sense of purpose. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his private journal, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being." He wasn't talking about a job title. He was talking about a role in the cosmos. Without a conscious, chosen direction, a hierarchy of values that sits above fleeting moods and external rewards, every difficulty feels arbitrary and therefore unbearable. Epictetus put it bluntly, the greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it. But glory only exists when there is something worth struggling for. So ask yourself tonight, what kind of person do I want to become when no one is watching? What principles would I rather die defending than abandon? If money, status, and approval disappeared tomorrow, what would still matter enough to get me out of bed? When those answers crystallize into a living compass, family, truthfulness, craftsmanship, kindness, intellectual honesty, courage, service, then huge obstacles shrink. A 60-hour work week becomes, this is how I provide security and model discipline for my children. A public failure becomes, this is how I practice humility and earn wisdom the hard way. Purpose doesn't remove pain. It gives pain meaning, and meaning is the ultimate painkiller. Principle 2. Become the gatekeeper of your own mind. Epictetus taught one of the most liberating yet uncomfortable truths in philosophy. People are disturbed not by things, but by the views they take of them. The insult, the rejection, the traffic jam, the bad news email. None of these possess the power to disturb your peace until you grant them permission through interpretation. Every angry outburst, every spiral of anxiety, every grudge you carry for years begins as a single unchecked thought. Modern psychology calls this cognitive mediation. Stoicism called it simply the art of assent. You don't have to believe every thought that knocks on the door of consciousness. Practical training. When the sting arrives, pause and say aloud or silently, this is a judgment, not a fact. Ask, what story am I telling myself right now? Then ask, is this story useful? Does it serve my purpose? Would a wiser version of me accept this interpretation? Treat your attention the way you treat your home. No one is allowed to dump garbage inside without your explicit permission. Negative news loops, comparison on social media, catastrophizing about the future, replaying old humiliations, politely but firmly close the door. Principle 3. Learn to receive criticism without crumbling. Most people treat criticism like a personal attack on their worth. Stoics treated it like free market research. Epictetus: if anyone can refute me, show me. I'm making a mistake or looking at things from the wrong perspective. I'll gladly change. It's the truth I'm after. 4-step protocol when someone criticizes you: boss, partner, parent, stranger online. Breathe and stay silent for at least 5 seconds. Remind yourself, their opinion cannot damage my character unless I let it. Ask internally, is there even 5% truth here that I can use to improve? If yes, thank them genuinely for the feedback. If no, let it pass like a cloud. People usually criticize because of their own fear, insecurity, fatigue, or projection, not because of some objective flaw in you. Knowing this robs the barb of most of its poison. Principle 4. Turn every offense into a teacher. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." When someone cuts you off, speaks disrespectfully, ignores your message, or betrays trust, the real wound is almost never the event. It's the meaning you instantly assign. I'm not respected, I'm invisible, and I'm worthless. This proves I'll always be alone. Stoic move. Insert deliberate space between stimulus and response. In that space lives your power. Reframing questions to ask in the heat of the moment. What would this look like if I were advising my best friend? What skill is this situation forcing me to practice right now? Patience, boundaries, detachment, forgiveness? 10 years from now, will I even remember this moment? If not, why give it so much emotion today? Every offense is potentially a free lesson in emotional agility, if you choose to treat it that way. Principle 5. Strip fear and shame down to their bones. Fear usually whispers, something terrible might happen. Shame usually whispers, something terrible already happened and it proves I'm defective. Both are stories, not facts. Stoic dissection technique. Write the feared outcome in plain language. Ask, if the worst really happened, could I still be a good person tomorrow? Almost always yes. Ask, what concrete action can I take today that makes the feared outcome less likely or less catastrophic? Do that action, then repeat. For shame, replace self-attack with curiosity. Instead of, I'm such an idiot, try, that was painful. What need was I trying to meet when I made that choice? What can I do differently next time so I don't hurt myself or others again? Self-compassion is not self-pity. It is the courageous refusal to let past mistakes define your future character. Principle 6. Premeditatio malorum. Rehearse misfortune before it arrives. Seneca advised, nothing happens to the wise man against his expectation. Every evening or Sunday night, spend 5 or 10 minutes deliberately imagining plausible setbacks. Losing your job, a health diagnosis, a relationship ending, a public embarrassment, a financial hit. Then mentally walk through. What would my first rational response be? What remains under my control even then? How can I still act with dignity and purpose in that scenario? This is not pessimism, it is psychological fire drilling. When, not if, difficulty arrives, part of your nervous system has already been there. The surprise is gone. The panic is smaller. You respond instead of react. Principle 7. Remember the dichotomy of control, your only true kingdom. Epictetus. Some things are up to us, some things are not up to us. Make this the lens through which you see every single day. Up to you. Your judgments, your intentions, your effort, your honesty, your kindness, your courage, your willingness to learn. Not up to you, other people's opinions, other people's actions, market movements, weather, past events, sudden illness, death. Pour 100% of your emotional energy into the first list. Give the second list only the attention required for rational planning, then release it. This single mental habit eliminates roughly 80% of unnecessary suffering. Principle 8. Create sacred pause between feeling and action. Anger, fear, lust, despair, they all come with tremendous urgency. That urgency is a lie. Train yourself to insert at least one deliberate breath or 10 seconds between impulse and behavior. Examples. Someone insults you. Pause. I feel the heat rising. That's normal. What response actually serves my long-term character? You want to send that furious text. Pause. Will pressing send make me prouder of myself tomorrow? You feel like quitting. Pause. Is this discomfort temporary, or is this truly misaligned with my purpose? The pause is where freedom lives. Principle 9. Radical acceptance is the gateway to real power. Acceptance is not approval. Acceptance is simply the refusal to waste energy fighting reality that has already occurred. When the diagnosis comes, when the relationship ends, when the money disappears, first say, internally or aloud, this is what's happening now. Only after that acknowledgement can intelligent, courageous action begin. Paradoxically, the fastest way to change an unwanted situation is to stop arguing with the fact that it exists. Principle 10. Live in agreement with nature and reason. The Stoics believed the universe runs on rational principles. Humans, being rational creatures, flourish most when we align ourselves with that same rationality and with our social nature. Practical translation: cultivate the 4 cardinal virtues daily. Wisdom, good judgment. Courage, doing what's right despite fear. Justice, giving others what they deserve. Temperance, self-control. Treat other people as ends, not means, because we are all part of the same rational community. Simplify, remove distractions, excess possessions, drama, comparison. Act as if the version of you 10 years from now is watching today's choices. When you live this way, joy is no longer something you chase. It becomes a quiet byproduct of alignment. Closing, the world will never stop throwing chaos at you. What you can control, what you have always controlled, is how you meet that chaos. Master your judgments. Protect your attention. Choose your response. Act from principle, not from passion. Accept what is, then act with courage. That is the Stoic path. It is not easy. It is not glamorous. But it is free. It is available in every moment. And it has never once failed anyone who sincerely practiced it. So tomorrow morning, when the alarm goes off and the mind starts its usual protest, whisper to yourself Marcus Aurelius's words, I have to go to work as a human being. Then get up, breathe, choose, and begin. Stay strong, stay deliberate, keep going.